Well, you are going to get to see part of history in the making today. You're going to get to meet the first female ever interracial duo entitled AsOne.
Stay tuned. Bridges starts now.
Welcome to Bridges. I'm Monica Schmelter. I'm so glad that you could join us, especially today as we're going to see part of history in the making and you get to meet the group AsOne. Lisa, I want to welcome you back to Bridges.
Thank you. So good to be here.
It's wonderful. And Teresa Bailey, good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Lisa, tell us, last time I had you, we talked about a worship project that you were doing at your church, but now you're a part of this new duo, AsOne.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Oh my gosh, it's just awesome. It's totally a God-orchestrated thing. Teresa actually was the singer-songwriter winner of Immerse this last July. And I went, my husband was judging, and I got to meet Teresa. Originally, I went because I was going to do an album. I was signed with EMI to do an album. We were looking for music. She had this amazing song, which she won Immerse with, that we were going to put on my record. We were thinking about doing it. And so we met. We ended up writing. You were scheduled to go home. Was it the next day?
Yeah, and we got together just to write, actually. We weren't trying to form anything.
Right.
And we wrote our first song, and we sang it together. And then Lisa's husband, Paul, was like, you guys are a group.
It's like, do you
And
hear
we're
how
like,
your
we
voices
are?
sound?
You're like, we are?
Hey.
Yeah.
And we thought about it.
Yeah.
And talked about it, prayed
And then
about
we,
it.
and then we wrote some more. And then I think the more we wrote, the more it became evident that maybe he was right, maybe he's onto something.
Yeah.
We do kind
It
of.
wasn't hard.
Yeah, we had
was
a really
easy.
good chemistry
the
from the beginning.
The songs just kept flowing. I think we wrote 6 or 8 songs
The first day.
The first
day.
We wrote
within
until
like 4
4
hours.
a.m. and then I had to get on a flight at
4 or
6 a.m.
6
to
hours.
go
Yeah,
back
because
to Los
I
Angeles.
heard you say you had to go home, so you're not from around here.
No, I was in LA at the time. I have since relocated my entire
My
family.
goodness.
Yes.
Wait. So you came and you won a contest, and then Paul and Lisa meet you, and then they say you're a group, and then you move your family from
My entire
LA.
family, husband and 3 kids.
Husband and 3 kids.
Yes.
Not an easy task.
No, but I had come back, and I was going back and forth a few times.
Right, yeah.
Until it became evident that this is for real. I think we have like a lot of potential here, and God did it, and if I don't relocate, I'm going to need to keep coming back to Nashville often.
Well, the thing is, she didn't relocate until shortly thereafter. We were signed with EMI Gospel. So once we were signed with EMI, she's like, okay, I've got to be closer. There's going to be a lot of things because EMI's here, I'm here.
Sure.
She's just like,
And I'm here.
And Monica's here.
That's right.
But it just intrigues me, and I love the group name AsOne, but I had no idea, Lisa, that there's never been an interracial female duo.
It's hard to believe. I mean, we actually researched it because it just sounds crazy. There have been interracial groups, female groups,
bands,
but never an interracial female duo.
We can't believe it still.
Right.
We say it all the time, like, no one? Are you sure? But we can't think of one.
No, I mean, you've
researched it and you can't find it.
Right.
I mean, it just amazes me that hasn't happened. But I'm so glad that the moment is here, and I'm glad it's you all as one.
Yes, thank you.
Well, tell me about it, because you've written all these songs. You said in 4 hours, 8 songs or something like
6
that.
hours,
That's amazing to me.
And then I came back and we'd keep writing. And I think the more we wrote, our style showed us what it was. We weren't trying to do anything. Just when we get together and write, we do have a sound now,
Right.
I think is what we've discovered. And it just keeps happening. So I think it's just
amazing. And we're going to give everybody an opportunity to see some of your stuff in this interview, some of the music that you've done.
Okay.
But really, Lisa, this was like no plan. It just kind of came together.
Yes, that's why we say it was totally a God-orchestrated thing. We didn't work at it. We didn't
We still
labor.
don't, really.
We still don't. And the cool thing is when God does something, he does it right. And not only, were we on the same wavelength writing-wise, that was super easy. But, I mean, from the first moment we sang together, even our voices, we just... the nuances and the movements were the same. I mean, it was just really cool. And we're so much alike.
I know.
We're just like, we keep still to this day discovering I mean,
style.
everything, even in our personal lives, we're
Yeah.
just so much alike. Same sense of humor and just
Only
everything.
God could
So
have done
we've
it.
just bonded like, yeah, without even trying, no effort.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
It's really cool.
Well, clearly God did it. I mean, because you know, we're talking like it's really easy. Like, you know, you just won this contest, and then
Yeah.
you guys met, and you know, then you just got signed by EMI. Those are not easy things to do.
No, they're not.
There's
No, they're
always
not.
a journey leading
There
up
is.
to this.
And even though we
she
say
was-
it's easy, we don't take it for granted. Like, we
No.
understand.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
We're very
once in a
blessed.
lifetime thing, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the journey.
The journey. I was a worship leader at Valencia Christian Center in California for almost 5 years, and my husband is a drummer. And we have been based in LA since we got married. And I never sought after becoming an artist. I was kind of happy leading worship, and I always wanted to be a writer. And so when this happened, it's kind of like they say, God blesses you with things you didn't even know you wanted.
Yeah.
Like now it's evident that this is what I'm supposed to do, but I never would have sought after, let me go be in a group or let me try to be a gospel singer. I was kind of content with where I was.
Amen.
Yeah, and then it's happened, and it's
Yeah.
been great so far. So
It's been
moved the
awesome.
family out here. They're getting situated.
How
the kids
and
are in
how are the
school.
kids doing, and the family and the
The
husband?
kids are
Is it all coming
fine.
together?
Yeah, we are a great team. But my 4-year-old is quite upset that there hasn't been any snow.
Oh.
He's never seen snow. So he was really looking forward to that.
He was kind of upset. This winter
Well,
let him
you know,
down.
if it happens, Teresa, he is going to think it's hilarious the way people here act with snow.
Yes.
Because I'm from Detroit originally.
Oh, you are.
Okay, so I'm used to the snow. But here, Lisa can tell you, but don't people go into panic mode?
Absolutely. My husband's from Buffalo, so he's used to feet and feet of snow. And
Yeah.
he's like, really?
Yeah, yeah.
There's
They
a
go into
hint of it
panic mode.
here, and I think I
Like,
saw
go to
on the
store.
news they're saying shut everything down.
Yes.
Oh,
and they clean out the pantries, and everyone goes
so-
home
and
early.
You
Everyone
go
goes to
to
grocery
Kroger,
stores.
and there'll be no milk,
Right.
toilet paper, or
Hilarious.
chili. I don't
We're
know. I'm
scared of snow.
Wow.
So I think your 4-year-old will get a real treat.
I hope so. He'll be very
We're
happy.
hoping it snows at least once.
So it's been a real journey and
It
long
has.
distance for you. Tell me about the journey for you.
Well, I've been behind the scenes working at labels, for years. And when the time was right, I was a single mom for 8 years. And when the time was right, I was approached to do an album. And so that's what I was in the process of doing when I met her. And it was so right, and it was so perfect.
Yeah.
We both were just like, yes, definitely. But it's been a journey. I mean, being a single mom for 8 years, and a mortgage and a car and kids in school, and I'm just very grateful. God is awesome.
Well, because life in and of itself without God is just
Right.
absolutely overwhelming.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
can't imagine.
That's right.
Yeah, even with Him and His grace, it's a lot. But His grace allows us. And what you're saying really is, when you're a single mom and you've got mortgage and car and you're responsible for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Other things come first, or they should.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
me, my children were the priority.
Yes. So both of you, really, though it's been a journey, you've had the right priorities.
Right.
You've understood, and God has brought the calling and the gifts to you, which
Right.
is so amazing. We've got to take a break, but I want to give them a look at your first song today.
Okay. Great.
And what is tell them that's how God works.
That's how God works.
All right, we're going to give you a look right now at the song That's How God Works.
Hi, we are AsOne.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Wright.
I'm Teresa Bailey. And for today, Music Monday, we're going to give you guys a new song. This one is called That's How God Works. Hope you like it. Could've lost my home, could've lost my mind, could've lost my job, could've lost my life. I could've gone without, could've just you believe. Hope says just hold on. Whenever you're weak, that's when He is strong. That's how God works. He works. Yes, He does. Could have had no peace, no sleep at night. I could have walked away, gave up the fight. I could have lost the hope, no song to sing. Someone somewhere said a prayer for me. Listen each and every morning with your love. Show any faithfulness that I do not deserve. That's what mercy does. That's what favor is. That's how grace works. Pardon from my sin. Faith makes you believe. Hope says just hold on. Whenever you're weak, that's when He is strong. That's how God works. He works. Oh, yes, He does. Great is your awesome kindness. You are a perfect gentleman. You provide all of my needs and cares and wants and hopes and prayers. That's how God works. He works. Oh, yes, He does. That's what mercy does. That's what favor is. That's how grace works. Pardon from my sin. Faith makes you believe. Hope says just hold on. Whenever you're weak, that's when He is strong. That's how God works. He works. Oh, yes, He
If you are just joining us today on Bridges, that was a look at a YouTube video by the group AsOne. And Lisa and Teresa, I want to hear about this journey as your group AsOne, because I understand that parts of that YouTube video was like on the night that you all met and you were shooting some footage. Tell me about that.
That was the first time. That was our first trip here.
Yeah.
And so that literally shows the beginning process of just how we connected and how we write together.
And we thought instead of just audio demos, let's also do some video demos while we're at it. So we would write and then record an audio demo and then do a video.
Right.
That's amazing. And then it's come to this point, and they went up on YouTube, and as I understand it, you got like 6,000 fans right away.
Out on our
6,000
Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did it surprise you? You know, because you shared before the break a little bit about being a single mom for so many years and just so many things. Are you surprised at what God has done?
I am. I know He's a good God, but definitely, like He says in Ephesians 3:20, He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above what we ask, think, or even imagine. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't think it would be happening this quickly. But I mean, the journey's been a long journey.
Right.
But I guess when God says it's time, it's time.
Yeah, you know, because you know, so many times in our lives, in our walk with the Lord, it seems like things take forever.
Yes.
Right.
Like there's so much preparation,
Most of the time.
struggle.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, there's been a project or something I've been involved in, and it just seems like God breathed on it. And after it took so long, it just came together. And that's what it sounds like AsOne is.
Absolutely. You know what? My pastor one time said that the promises of God have a now. And until he said it, you know, you think that's common sense. But until he said it, when he said it, it really started to mean something to me. Like all of the things that we read about and we claim, there will come a now when they will happen now.
Amen.
And now I'm living that, and I love that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Tell me about your hope and your prayer for AsOne. That, you know, as you all are ministering and singing and doing this project, what's your hope and prayer for the group?
Well, it's AsOne's heart and our desire to be able to minister just to people everywhere, all over the world.
Everywhere.
God's love, His unconditional love for all, and that we really are in Christ. We are as one, all of us.
Yes, we are.
You know, so that's our desire, is just to kind of try to break down some barriers and some boundaries, obviously, race-wise.
Yeah. Hopefully, just by showing up, we'll do that.
You
know what I mean?
We're making a statement.
Yeah, hopefully just by showing up and singing, we'll do that. Like,
it helps
we
people
worship
to get
together.
it. Yeah, it's not so much that you have to say something, it's just that people see it.
Yes. Right.
And I think from what you're describing of the relationship and how God has brought so much kinship together, and even the spirit and the sounds of the voice, that people can see that God's made us all.
Right.
And He wants us to enjoy relationships with one another.
Yeah.
Tell me about, if you would, Teresa, ICA.
ICA is International Crisis Aid, and Lisa and her husband Paul had hooked up with ICA before we even met, and that was a funny story. The restaurant, they ICA, they do a lot of world outreach, and they feed the hungry, and their most recent endeavor is to build safe houses and then rescue girls who are stuck in sex trafficking. They rescue them, and then they put them in these safe houses to rehabilitate them before they come back into society. And we were having lunch one day, and I said, I don't want to be the type of gospel artist that doesn't actually go out and do stuff.
Right. The first day we had lunch, actually.
Yeah, and they both looked at me like,
because that was our
and
heart.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And they're
God's
like, we
amazing.
just hooked up with ICA. And I'm like, no way. I would love to go, you know, and do some of the stuff that they're already a part of.
Right.
And then ICA heard one of the songs we wrote called Be the Light. And we're so honored that they chose that song to be their national theme song.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
What an honor.
So they just heard it and selected it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we'll be going to Ethiopia in March with them.
My goodness. Now, have
kinda
you
be on
ever
the front
done a
lines.
trip like that before,
No,
Lisa?
it's
How about you,
always been a
Teresa?
No.
desire. It's always been a desire for both of us. So.
And
that's
what will you
just
be doing? Like when you go there, what will the day-to-day look like?
feeding people, you know, helping to help the needy and the desperate, and in whatever capacity, probably clothing, and definitely feeding them. And we actually get to meet some of the girls that are in the safe houses there and sing, do a little bit of singing.
Yay.
Also, we'll be recording some footage for the Be the Light video while we're there.
That's
gonna be cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
We can't wait to just go and help and be a part of
And
it.
be a part. And I think, Teresa, that you hit upon something, obviously, that was on Lisa and Paul's heart. Also, that you didn't just want to be a gospel artist just to sing, but that you wanted to be a part. You wanted to do something. How important do you think that is for anybody, regardless of what our vocation is? You know, because not everybody's an artist or a singer.
Yeah.
You can be an engineer or an architect and still do something.
You can. I was raised in the United Methodist Church, and the church where I grew up, it seemed like we were doing something every month or every week. We were always going to a nursing home to sing, or a food shelter to serve. So I grew up with a servant's heart. Like, you have to give back because God is so good to us. And I just grew up with that, and I still want to do it. And hopefully, being gospel artists will give us a platform to do more. Sometimes you want to, and you don't really know how.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we can use the fame or whatever comes with us to do good.
Yes.
And I think God would be pleased with that, that you used your platform for good.
That's right.
Not just to sell records. Yeah, we want to sell records, we do.
course.
But we want to do, too.
That's right.
Yeah, and we believe that when you're given a gift of God, that it's not just to keep it to yourself, it's to give back.
Right.
That's right.
We're given so that we can give back, so.
That's right. The word says, you know, that we've received freely, so we should give freely. And God's given us all, you know, for you all, obviously, it's singing and writing and all of that good stuff. And for me, it might be something else.
Right.
But that whatever that we've received, that we would be willing to share and give.
Right.
So you're excited about this trip coming up?
I'm so excited. I'm excited that the Ethiopia trip?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm beyond excited. we just feel so blessed and honored to be able to be a part of, you know, God's very heartbeat, which is loving others and helping others and giving back.
Yeah.
So we are very, very excited about it.
That's
wonderful.
a song.
Right.
We should write
A song? Well, okay. I hear a song coming. Teresa, how is your husband excited about all of this?
My husband's uber excited. From
Uber
the time we
excited,
met,
okay.
Yeah, he was my biggest fan as just a songwriter. And there were times when, you know, as a writer, you're constantly, I don't want to say begging, but for lack of a better term, you're constantly begging for someone to hear your song and sing your song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're an awesome artist. Would you sing my song? Would you sing my song? You're constantly
And what do people
doing
say
that.
mostly when you say that?
Oh, they stay political. That's not right for us. Or
right.
we have too many up-tempos.
Yes.
Or the label's going to go another way. They say it in all kinds of ways. Either way, it's rejection.
no.
And you take it as somebody didn't like my art, my
Exactly.
craft. And my husband saw years and years of that. And he's so excited that the world gets to hear. He's like, they get to hear what I always knew was, you know. And so he's just
He
excited.
knew first.
Yeah, he's excited to just live and be a part of it.
Yeah.
And he's a great drummer, so he'll play on the album.
That's great.
Amazing drummer.
He's so excited. I think he's the most excited.
That's
the
awesome.
most excited.
And the only reason I asked you that is a lot of times people look at two beautiful women like you here and you get signed with the EMI and I won a contest and don't realize that there's a lot of trial and a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Years.
Absolutely.
Years.
Always. And the thing is, you know, we have to learn to be tender-hearted and thick-skinned.
Yeah.
You know, and not the opposite.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
So
yeah, that's a
there's
work of the Holy
balance there.
Spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that we
So-
all have to be prepared to handle. We're going to go in a different direction. I know what that means.
Yeah.
No, we're out of time, so I want to thank
Okay.
you both for coming. But we're going to let them listen to another song. What song is that?
Born to Die?
Born to Die.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming.
Thank
Thanks
you for
for having
having us.
us.
We want to
Monica.
give you another look at one of the YouTube videos. It's called Born to Die.
How could it be that I was chosen on this day to carry the great I am? I'm filled in awe and overwhelmed at God's great plan, flesh and holy deity are cradled in my hand, and I will
die. You know, today on the interview, we saw the group AsOne, heard a little bit about their successes and a lot about their journey, the tests and the trials. And honestly, for all of us, whether we're an engineer, an architect, a lawyer, a janitor, there are trials, there are tests in this life, there are rejections that we all go through. There are times that we give something or somebody 100%, and the result isn't the way that we want it to go. But a part of success is being able to be persistent and hang in there. And that's what you saw with AsOne today, that for years, both of those young ladies followed the call and the gift of God on their life. And then they had a suddenly where God just breathed on their hopes and their dreams and brought it to come to pass in AsOne. And that's my prayer for all of you today, that you'll hang in there, do what God has called you to do, and allow Him to bring you success. We're out of time, but we've got to go. We say goodbye, and God bless you.
For information on today's guest, visit our website, ctntv.org.
If you would like to order a copy of today's Bridges episode, call 615-754-0039. Be sure to mention the program number on your screen.
Life's not always perfect. If you need prayer, write to the address on your screen or call 615-754-0039 or email prayer@ctntv.org.
Log on to www.ctntv.org, where you can make a prayer request, view our program guide, see who's on Bridges, or even watch one of Monica's latest teachings. Log on to www.ctntv.org.
Thanks for watching Bridges.